Honey, what do you think we are going to do today?
So, in the last episode at our podcast, we had the privilege to meet Cyril Junio Dim, the
Yes.
youngest world champion of Toastmasters International 2022. So now what we are going to do is something that we have been doing for last 3 years,
Yes.
right, Deepak? We are going to evaluate the world champion's speech.
Yes, 2022 World Champion of Public Speaking. Today, Honey and I are going to evaluate Cyril's speech and help our audience to understand how Cyril became the World Champion of Public Speaking 2022. We are going to learn some interesting facts about his speech
and actually look at what makes a speech a world champion speech and what is it that we are going to do with our speeches in future.
So, Honey, are we ready?
Let's go ahead.
Cyril Junio Dim. Ndini. Ndini. Cyril Junio Dim.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
You're welcome.
I love that the Contest Chair sounds more Zimbabwean than I do.
I was actually amused at the way he started the speech. The curiosity of the speech title, Ndini, and I was wondering, what language is this? What does it mean? What is he going to talk about? And then, the moment he entered on the stage, he took a deep breath, he looked at the audience, then he looked at the contest chair, took a pause, I think a long pause, then he looked back at the audience again and started with a joke. Such an amazing hook to the speech. What do you say, Deepak?
Absolutely, it is a fantastic hook. I was there. I think everybody was there. Along with the hook, he brought in big laughter among the audience. And as they say, if you are able to make your audience laugh in first 30 seconds, it means they are ready to walk and travel with you in your speech.
Do that.
Let's see ahead.
In Zimbabwe, we speak Shona. And in this beautiful language, we have a very important word that I'd like to share with you today. In Shona, we say Ndini. 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 Try it. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow. I love the way he used the technique called tap, tease, and transport. So, Honey, have you noticed that? How beautifully he first tapped his audience, means how he was looking at the contest chair for 7 seconds. Means he was basically actually tapping, waking them up. And then he teased the audience by throwing a joke on the contest master, and everybody started laughing. And then he transported all of us about the word Dini, that this is in Zimbabwean. So we have basically reached to Zimbabwe with him. So beautiful technique of tap, tease, and transport. And then he involved the audience by asking them to say Dini.
Yeah, and the moment you are speaking something along with the speaker, you are with them. And I think that's the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
It means, this is me. In my language, we have one word for this very important phrase. This is me. Ndini. This word is special.
Honey, have you noticed the repetition here?
Yes. For the same meaning, he moved twice and made us understand the meaning of the word. And I think that's very nicely done, intentionally done, because the moment you emphasize something, you reiterate something, that is done for adding clarity to help audience understand the meaning of something which is going to be the premise of the speech, because that
Absolutely.
is what the core message of the speech is, right?
Yeah, the whole speech is based on this word Dini, and that's why I need to understand what Dini is. You need to understand what Dini is. Everybody needs to understand what Dini is.
Yeah. And I think that reiteration, repetition always add impact.
Absolutely.
Special for me now, but growing up, I wasn't always comfortable with who I was. You see, even though I grew up in Zimbabwe, my middle name was a long, winding, complicated Nigerian name, because my father, whom I never knew, was Nigerian. Now, yes, I may know a Nigerian prince or two, but back then, I didn't want a Nigerian name. I wanted a cool name, like Martin Luther King Jr. or contest chair.
Hilarious it is. Lovely amalgamation of powerful pauses, interesting wordplay, and communicative and very expressive body language that he had.
No doubt.
What he did was amazing. The long, intertwining, complicated name that he has, and then the way he did Martin Luther King. Contest chair. Deepak, contest chair. How did contest chair come in between?
You know, this is the technique that most of the speakers use, honey, that when he said Martin Luther King, I was expecting that he will take another big name or a big celebrity name, but suddenly he said contest chair. That made everybody laugh. And this is called technique of derailing your audience. Your audience is walking towards one direction and suddenly you see something which make them laugh. This is a beautiful way of again keeping your audience with you by making them laugh.
I'm very sure the contest chair also had a good laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other kids would make fun of me. They said my name was useful as a password. They called my middle name memorably forgettable. They said my middle name was a curse from black magic. I hated my name. Have you ever hated something about yourself?
Wow. Honey, here I see learning of speech. After using all those beautiful words, making people laugh, and then saying, I hated my name, and then immediately asking a question to your audience, have you ever hated anything about you? So what Dini or Cyril is actually telling us to reflect. And when you ask your audience to reflect, they start thinking about it. And as they say, if you don't reflect, you don't affect. It means you have to make your audience reflect during your speech. Then only you can create that impact.
Yes.
I would argue with Mom. I would be so mad at her. You gave me this name. You did this to me. And now everybody makes fun of me because I'm different. And my mom would look at me and say, but son, that name is who you are. It's special.
I love the way Cyril has actually demonstrated the agony. He was living it on the stage. Like, you did this to me, and because of you, I'm suffering. That's what the real life is all about, right? We blame people, but he's living it on the stage and beautifully expressing his agony in the dialogue, in his expression. I liked it.
Absolutely right. When Cyril was talking to his mom, I could feel the same that you are feeling. I had just one observation, honey. When his mom started speaking and delivered a very strong dialogue, at that point of time, I saw mom started walking toward the left side of the stage. And that movement was pretty distracted. I would have loved if mom would have looked at Cyril, because Cyril was looking at his mom and expressing that agony. If mom would have turned back and looked at Cyril and took that stance to deliver that dialogue, that would have been very powerful delivery of that powerful line that she said at this point of time.
Yeah, agree that moment really matters because your eyeballs move faster than your ears.
Powerful line, son, that your name is what you are.
And it's passion.
Yeah.
You know, your middle name means that what God has done, no man can change. And I said, Mom, man has changed many things. Okay, look at Chihuahua.
Honey, a while ago when I was making my previous observation of my mom taking a stand there, she was on the right side of the stage. Now, he's suddenly looking at a mom on the left side of the stage. Something is missing here. I feel it is important. How do we place the character here? It's totally my perspective. What I look at, how I look at him talking to his characters on the stage.
That used to be a wolf. I'm pretty sure I can change my name. And I did. As soon as I turned 18, I had my middle name removed from all my documents. It became my best kept secret. And I have not said that name once ever since. Before I knew it, it was 2018 and I'd landed in college, not in Zimbabwe, not even in Africa, but in the heart of Eastern Europe. It was clear who grew up in the snow and who grew up in the sand. I had never been this different before. The fly in the milk.
Honey, have you seen? All through his speech, he has been using self-deprecating humor. And this is the best way to deliver a message. I'm going to point out some beautiful intricacies of the speech. He was showing past with his right hand towards the right side of the stage. This is a, again, beautiful way of showing the past with your right side of the stage. And then he used some anchors, beautiful anchors, to explain his point. Anchors in form of analogies. Have you noticed any analogies during his speech in the last few minutes, honey?
I think that you mean to say with analogy the wolf one, I'm not getting the name of that animal, but
and
yes. And then you had the snow and the sand, and then you had the fly in the milk. All those are the
right, absolutely
very
right.
powerful analogies that he has used.
Yes, and analogies are best anchors to use in your speech to make your message more and more clear. There are different kind of anchors we can use in your speeches. For example, anecdotes that can be used in the form of stories, analogies, we talked about it, or activity or acronym. So there are 4 types of anchors you can use in your speeches.
A good learning for me too.
It felt like I had taken 1 step forward and 10 steps backwards. But then I met Nick, another fly in the milk, but from Congo. He's got the African boy swag, you know, low, deep voice, speaks very slowly. He's like Mufasa, but in slow motion.
Let me highlight it here again, Deepak, that this is the best way to bring character to life on the stage, living in their shoes, replicating even their voice, you know, deep, slow voice. And then again, bringing in that analogy of Mufasa, right?
I could see the character on the stage.
Yeah, very powerful.
We're in the library one day and Nick drops his ID. And like a good friend, I pick it up and proceed to read it out loud, including his full name, Nicholas Rolin Suwini Bitumi. And I say, dude. Let's say your name 3 times and see what happens.
I think humor, pauses, and powerful expression, his rolling eyes as well, are few of his greatest assets in the speech. Amazing he is at that.
That's why he is a world champion, honey.
Oh, yes.
But I knew exactly how those words must have felt.
I think, isn't this very relatable to all of us? There are several such moments in our life when we do something or say something, and exactly at the next moment we realize, I wish I could not have done that. It's not good, it's not fair. I could feel what he actually did in just this deep sigh and this 1 minute of bringing it to stage.
Absolutely, I have done that. I'm sure most of the audience would have done that, and that is the relatability factor wherein everybody can feel with him what he was feeling at that point of time. Honey, as they say, commonality connects, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very common. True that.
And that's where he is bringing in a lot of connection with the audience.
Yes.
But Nick was ready. I have never met anybody with my name. It was a gift from my grandfather, and I like it. And we laughed, and we got kicked out of the library. But in my heart...
Wow. As they say, honey, speeches are not drama. They are conversations. We laughed. We were kicked out of the library. As if he is sitting on the dining table and conversing with me and you. This is the real quality of a great speaker, where he is bringing in a lot of conversation approach when he is conversing with audience. We could feel him that he is talking to me. I'm sure you have also experienced the same. This is very, very important part of any speech. Your speeches are not dramas, they are conversations. And we can see it live on the stage.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the very common trait for all the world champions that we had, that they are not telling something, they are talking to us.
Yeah.
And that's the conversational approach that we have seen.
Absolutely. Give me one.
Yes.
I was 18 again, seeing in Nick what I didn't have for myself. Acceptance. And for the first time, I started looking around and I realized we're all different. Even Nick was different. But he wasn't just different. He was special because he accepted himself.
So here comes the guru. Honey, who's the guru in this speech?
The Yoda, the mentor, the hero of the speech, somebody who brings transformation into your life. And here we have Nick as a guru.
Absolutely, friends. The guru can come in any form. It could be an inanimate object, it could be a book, it could be an event, it could be a person, it could be a parent, anybody. There has to be guru who brings transformation, as Hani said, into your life. And Nick is the guru here who is going to bring transformation to Cyril's life. And with the guru, he brought in the message of the speech in one sentence. He was special because he accepted that.
Right.
And for the first time in a long time, I wanted to accept myself too. I looked myself in the mirror and said, Ndini, this is me. I know that many of you out there at some point in your life have felt uncomfortable being who you are. Maybe it was your name. Maybe it was the family you came from. Maybe it was the school you went to. Maybe you were tall. Maybe you were short. Maybe you have wrinkles, freckles. Maybe you have scars. I know that some of you out there know what it is to be different. And even if you don't feel it, I'm sure you know somebody who does.
I actually felt goosebumps when I was hearing this speech for the first time and today again. And I know that I went to a school, DAV Ballabgarh, and I was never comfortable telling it to my colleagues and my friends later in life that this is the school I went to, because I was not comfortable with that. There are many such things in our life which we do not accept, right?
Honey, you are absolutely right. Sometimes we don't accept what we have. I remember my dad used to be at a very junior position in army. He was a Havaldar in army, in Indian army. And I always used to hesitate about sharing his rank with all my friends who was from the officer's family. And it was always so, sometimes I used to feel, no, why should I share? They may talk, they may make fun of me. And today, when I look at Dini's speech, I could relate to it very well. Whatever we are, who we are, we need to accept that. That's very important.
I think this is a strong connection with the audience because at this point of speech, it's a very powerful element of reflection, something to learn, something to live with,
Absolutely.
right?
You are beautifully you. The only you. And no man can change that. So let me invite you to make
We all listen to motivational speeches and Gyan that all of us are different, all of us are unique and beautiful. But he connected very strongly that it's not different, it's special. And how do you become special is by acceptance. The bridge between being different and being special is acceptance.
Absolutely.
All of us, actually, including you and I, we are trying to be like someone or be better than someone. That's what we are trying to do every time. We are not just accepting who we are, what we are doing, actually. I think that is the reason it is a champion speech.
Yeah, honey, you're absolutely right. But I want you to look at his stance a while ago from this particular point, where he was delivering the meat of the speech, the message of the speech. He was standing in the middle of the stage, hands down, looking at the audience straight and delivering his message. With this stance, he's showing us how important and how to deliver the meat, the message of the speech to your audience. Very, very powerful.
So let me invite you to make this very important word a part of your language. Ndini. This is me. For my friends here in Nashville and the thousands watching from home, say it with me. This is me. Ndini. Beautiful.
I was watching it virtually and I could feel that energy. And I could feel that vibe of those words and the enthusiasm of what I can bring in as a change in my life.
Absolutely, honey. I like the way he said, I invite you. It's a very different way of asking your audience to take action and asking them to make this word Dini as part of their language. What a new way for call of action, honey.
Yeah. And also, I'm very sure all of us would have noticed in the beginning also, when he actually started with the meaning of Dini, he spelled it out and he asked audience to use the word. Again, he's using the word, asking the audience to use it in a very powerful way after telling the story for the last 5-6 minutes. Now he's closing the loop from where he started.
Bang
Dini.
on. Bang on. And have you noticed the way he said the word Dini in the beginning was basically to memorize them and make them understand the meaning of the word Dini. And the word Dini in the end has a lot of emphasis to deliver the message. The context of both the words are different, but he's closing the loop, as you said.
And the tone also changed. In the beginning, it might be little soft. In the end, it was more powerful because now It is coming with a powerful story that
Yes.
he has shared and the journey that he has traveled with this Dini. Amazing at it.
Absolutely right.
I haven't had the courage to officially reclaim my name. But here, today, I think we can make a step in the right direction. I was born Cyril Junio Dim. And this is me, Ndini.
Wow. We talk so much about making the conclusion powerful, right? We talk about takeaways, we talk about messages, and we saw very powerful way today
Yeah.
to actually show it on the stage, show it right there, own it up, take the action on the stage by being vulnerable. And I think speaker Cyril did it very powerfully by actually calling out his name and saying it loud. I mean, being vulnerable on the stage is the most powerful thing that you can do it. Have the courage to show it to the audience. Don't tell them, show them.
Yes.
That's more important.
And he has done it, honey. He has done it in front of us, in front of thousands and thousands of people who are watching in the auditorium and all over the world virtually. And that is what is called becoming vulnerable and showing your authenticity on the stage. As our mentor, Mark Brown, always say, authenticity combined with vulnerability builds your credibility. And he left an indelible impact, no doubt, on my mind. I'm sure he must have left a big impact on everyone's mind to accept and be vulnerable in any situation so that you can build that credibility with your audience.
And the audience will love you
Yes, absolutely right.
with your vulnerability.
Yes, no
I
doubt.
remember a song from Brian Adams. I'm very sure most of our audience members would have heard it. Here I am, this is me. For me, this has been the biggest takeaway, not just from the speech, but for life, to accept who I am. Dini.
Ndini, this is me, this is us. Friends, we all are champions. We all have stories. We just need acceptance.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking away some nuggets from Dini, and we come back to you with another video very soon. Bye-bye.